Miss Ashley, girl, I'm going to have to go on and give you this problem, honey, because you are really dealing with some misplaced anger and confusion. And ain't nobody trying to hear it. Period. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, episode 16. We're getting toward the end here. Listen. The reunion's already been filmed and all of that. I actually did a review on the garments that the ladies wore. Yeah, I've already done that, and we're just getting to the end of this. But Ashley, you're really starting to get on my nerves. You're getting on my nerves in the realm of Mia and G. You're carrying on really, really bad, in my opinion, as pertains to G. And more so G, not Mia. You're acting just like you're not the maven of, oh, he didn't mean it. Oh, he's okay. That was you. Bravo has tons and tons and tons of footage of Michael being inappropriate. Isn't that right, Ashley? Tons of footage of Michael doing things he ain't got no business doing. Isn't that right, Ashley? But for me, it seems as though you're picking on G. Why? Because you're miserable. That's why. And we saw it. And it all made a lot of sense once we seen this scene with you and your therapist. We were listening. But it really came together today when I seen you and the therapist. You're angry. And you're miserable. And you need someone to take it out on. And for whatever reason, it's G. Now, is G inappropriate? Sure. Is he trifling? Yes. Does he always act like he should be acting? Absolutely not. But aren't you used to that? Isn't that what your husband does on a daily basis? Your husband is always out of order. Always. With the boys and the girls. Isn't that right, Ashley? Listen, we're going to get into it because you playing games. And I don't like this picking on G. I don't like it. I really, really don't like it. I don't care for it at all. I don't. Moving on. A Caribbean crab boil. A romantic setting on a Caribbean crab boil. I was like, child, what is that? What is that? Child, that's the, yeah, I know y'all heard that. Man, child, that's my dryer. I'm multitasking. I'm washing and drying clothes and making videos at the same time. Yes, I am. Listen, I was going to just move right on like y'all didn't hear it, but you heard it. Come into my house. Welcome. It is what it is, and I ain't editing it out. Shouts out to all those who have a washing machine and dryer in their house. The shade has been thrown. Come on, multitasking. Anyway, let's get back to what we're doing, honey, and then down off my soapbox. But don't bam it. If you have a washing machine and a dryer in your home, you're used to that sound, and you knew pretty much what it was. If you don't, you just don't. That's your business. Anyway, moving on. I do. Let's go. More shade. Anyhow, so a romantic setting for a Caribbean crab boil. I don't even know how that's even possible. Crab boils are synonymous for stuff running down your arms and stuff getting on your clothes, and you got to put a bib on, and there's shit everywhere. And so I don't know how it's supposed to be really all that romantic, other than like if you're like leaning over the table and feeding your mate some shrimp or giving them a little bite of a potato or something. No, I mean, you can do that. And then that is kind of cute. That is kind of cute. But messy, just to say. They were all dressed up. Everybody was looking so nice in their stuff. Look, first mistake when they said, come on and walk through this grass in these hills. Did you see them shoes that Wendy had on? I said, no, Miss Wendy, you clowning. They was bad. They were bad. I said, now that's an old nasty piece of sandal. Baby, I would have went through no grass. Listen, I ain't got time for that. I don't have time for that. I did a video shoot one time and I had to walk through grass in a pair of my heels. And can I tell you how pissed I was? That was some real live acting because I was trying not to act like I was pissed, honey. But I was by walking through that grass in my goddamn heels. Anyway, moving on. But during the crab boil, everything was pretty cool. But they were saying it was like cold outside. At one point, G was like, "This is too cold." He had to go back on up in the house. You know, they did talk about Eddie's family a little bit. There's been a little bit of progress. You know, where the family is actually they're talking a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because you know his family, they were kind of like disowned from the family for the most part. But you know, things again, baby steps, baby steps. Yeah, I feel sorry for him with that little situation. I'm a little too evil for that kind of thing because we wouldn't be making baby steps. Like I would just be like, done, to hell with you. But that's who I am. You know what I mean? And I feel sad for him because he really wants the relationship with his people. He wants the relationship for his children. I wouldn't even want them near my kids. Anybody that could just disown and cut you off, I want them around my kids. Get on out of here. We ain't begging to be in your presence. To hell with you. But that's me. So makes me feel a little bad for him. I like Eddie. Anyway, moving on. So here's the thing with Ashley and G. G comes back out. And Ashley starts in on G about not letting her sleep when they were on the bus. What are you... Shut up! Shut up! Stupid! Like, get out of here. We are not 13. So she's like, he wouldn't let me sleep on the bus, this, that, and the other, and on and on and on. And I was like, he was like, well, it was just like, I was just joking with you, Ashley. You know, this thing, like she just wants it with him. You can just see it. She wants to have a problem with G, and I don't get it. I don't get it. But that damn Mia was like, girl, where's your husband? And she said, he's home with my children. She said, are you sure? I said, oh, gotcha. Mia shady, child. To just cracked her face real quick. But it's just like a constant. I was like, for the last couple episodes, she's been getting on my nerves with this G stuff. I don't like it. Anyway, then they did this whole thing. Ray had said, you know, for his little bachelor party or whatever, he said he wanted a lady jumping out of a cake. Wendy and Eddie and Karen went away from the table and they come back with this old cardboard cake and have Karen jump out the cake. It was so corny. It was so corny that it was actually cute. It was it was just so pathetic. I said, oh, and they was like, child, you supposed to jump out. That daggone Gizelle told shoot, Karen, you supposed to jump out of your neck and heading with some whipped cream on your nipples. I was like, no. Listen, when you approach a 60, ain't nobody jumping on no cake with no titties and no goddamn whipped cream, no child. If you don't get on out of here, honey. Don't nobody want to see no whipped cream slathered geriatric boobs, honey. Get on out of here. That's a mess. But it was so corny that it was actually cute. Robin and Gizelle have voiced again, and it's like, okay, we heard it enough. That they felt that Wendy was a horrible host. Was she horrible or was she effective? She didn't care for you to have a good time. She didn't care if you two even came. Seems to me like she was effective in what it was that she was trying to do. Everybody else seemed to have a good time. Moving on. It was shade. And it was effective. Moving on. So Karen has her invitations come out. She tells everybody, make sure you open your invitation outside. I thought that was weird anyway. That child done sent these folks boxes with butterflies in them, and in some of the boxes, the butterflies, some of them was dead, honey. I said, oh, girl, ah, that's like, that ain't grand. That's stupid. I was like, you send me no box of no dead ass damn butterflies. Child, then some of the poor butterflies is in there with their little mates is just as turned over. I said, oh, shit. And then Robin kept doing it. And so did Robin and that damn Gizelle. They just like kept on referring to him as a moth, honey. I said, oh my God, so rude. Rude. Anyway, but that was a mess. That was a big fail, Karen. That was a little bit much. That came across as like witchcraft, girl. I was like, girl, I don't know if I would come to your function or not. You sent me a box where half of the box is dead and the other half, girl, what we doing, honey? I don't know. Anyway, so listen to this. There was a situation over at Mia's house between Gordon and Ronnie, which is Mia's mother. Now, I'm going to have to say this because this is how I saw it. Mia's given her mother the bad edit. So we kind of have like talked about that before. Mia has given her mom the truly bad edit, and it just ain't right. It just ain't right. You've not put this woman on here in a way to make us like her. We all looking at her like, what's her purpose? And you're giving her the bad edit. Like she's just a terrible mother, she's a terrible grandma, and all of this. And she don't really like you and your kids and that kind of thing. But when I really listened to what was actually being said in this little instance here, her and G decided to stay a few more days. So this is all about babysitting. Okay, you all know I used to run a daycare. So I'm very versed in the ways of daycare and people leaving their children past the time that you want to be bothered with their children. Do you understand? When daycare closes at 6, I expect you to be there to pick your kids up at 5:55. At 6:15, I don't want to see your kids no more. Period. And listen, I ain't candy coating it for you. And most of the people who I actually had as clients, I was personal, if you don't even start off as personal friends with them, you end up being personal friends with them because you have their kids. So you actually play a part in each other's lives. It's just kind of the way it goes. And listen, I love you and I love your children. But at 6:15, I looked around and I didn't want to see no kids in my house except for the 2 that was mine. I didn't want to see not near another child in the house that didn't live there. Period. So I understood about Ronnie wanting to go. She done had your kids all weekend or however long y'all were gone. She had your kids. And now you just y'all decided y'all were going to stay a few more days. And so it got a little tense. Then Mia says this is where the bad edit takes place. Well, I know about her. Yeah, she's left me before. So we ran on home. So now you flip it off of y'all. Because, see, this was you and G's fault. You and G decided that Ronnie was going to stay for a few more days and continue babysitting. But, see, that's some of your bull crap because you're always pulling rank about how much she does for your sister and her kids. You thought we forgot? We didn't forget. You put Miss Ronnie in a position. Miss Ronnie don't like you all that much. So what makes you think she want to spend extra days with you and with your kids? She don't. And for you to try to push that off and try to act like she did something wrong, no, she's ready to go. And you wrong. You decide, if you ask me to babysit for 2 days, 2 days, 3 days, on the 5th day, yeah, I'm pissed. Yeah, I'm pissed because I was done with these kids on the 3rd day. That ain't right. And I don't know how you sat up here and tried to twist that around and put that on her. You was out of order. You and G were out of order. That's it. That's all. Period. That's the way I saw it. That's the way I saw it. You didn't get to stay no extra time. You decided. G decided. And then G and Ronnie got into it, and Ronnie made the comment, "These are your children, Gordon." But why are y'all acting so... What? You already knew that. You already know she ain't all overwhelmed by y'all's existence. So why y'all trying to pretend? Child, I gotta side with Miss Ronnie on this one. Girl, that ain't for her. She ain't got to be all in love, honey. And she did what you asked her to do. End of story. Y'all were wrong. And then to paint that picture like you thought that she would actually walk off and leave your children, that was terrible. I thought that was terrible. And if you feel that way about her, you're less than to have even left them there with her. Period. Period. If you thought that she's irresponsible enough that she would literally walk off and leave your children unattended, then you were less than a damn to even leave them with her, period. So no, I ain't in agreement with you, G, or Miss Mia. Y'all out of order. I got to ride with Miss Ronnie on this one. Anyway, moving on. Gizelle and her girls. There was a whole little conversation with Gizelle and her girls where they actually talked about, Gizelle actually admitted to them her emotional abandon when it comes to relationships. Okay? And her daughters really had some things to say where I said, well, listen. I don't know. I didn't like where it went. Because they kind of gave Gizelle very much like, girl, you've been a failure as pertains to relationships and showing us what relationships look like. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. First of all, your daddy wasn't shit. That's where the problem came in. Now, we can say whatever we want to say about Gizelle, but the marriage broke up because your dad was the one that was out of order, not your mom. So however she dealt with him after that is whatever she dealt with. The breakup of the household, that was on Jamal's head. That was not on Gizelle's head. Gizelle did not cheat on Jamal. Jamal cheated on Gizelle. And then when she tried to reconvene with Jamal, Jamal was still out of order. So you girls are out of order trying to hold that over your mother's head. Y'all know I like y'all. I like you three little pretty little ladies. I do, but you're out of order and you're being unfair to your mama right now. And the thing about learning your love language, that ain't on your mama. That's on you, baby. That's called real life. It ain't for her to guide you through. You have to guide yourself through. You can't live that. No parent can live that for their child. That is for each and every one of us as human beings to learn. You have to learn your language, your love language, and how to maneuver. That's on you. That's not on your mother. So I didn't agree with any of that. And I thought they were a bit out of order. And I felt kind of bad for Gizelle because she's like, well, no, girl. No. Now, do you have some issues? Of course you have some issues. And you're in counsel, taking care of them. But no, you don't need to be feeling bad. You can't maneuver the girls throughout. They're going to love their love, learn their love language, and how to maneuver on their own. And whatever you try to teach them, guess what? They will do the opposite anyway, because that's the way that works. Period. Moving on. Now, Gizelle actually went to see her pastor. Now, you know, we've seen him before, little pastor. He'd be short. But was it me or was something going on? He looks like he's been ill. I was really concerned. I just kind of I kept looking at him and I couldn't really even focus in on what was going on in the scene because he looks to me like he's been ill. And again, that's because I've come from a place where I've been ill. I've gone through chemo and I kind of know, like, you know, I've dealt with it. I did 5.5 months and I know where that journey is. I don't know what it is, but when I looked at him, he just looked like he had been ill. I looked at like his hair and his skin and just even the way he was talking and the way he was, I was like, he doesn't look like he feels well to me. And it really was bothering me. It really was bothering me because I think he's such a nice gentleman. Like when we seen him on the show before. Just very genuine and very, I don't know, he got the good at it. You know, when he came through and we seen him, and I noticed, so what, you know, he always be sharp. He always be sharp, sharp, sharp. You know what I mean? But he just looks like he's been battling with something, or he's been ill, or might still be ill, or just get back, but just didn't look his best at all. And again, I was looking at his skin and his hair and different things, and I'm like, listen, whatever it is, I pray it gets better. I pray it gets better. But that really was bothering me. They didn't say anything about it on the show, so that could just, you know, I truly don't think I'm putting 20 on 10, but I really was bothered when I seen him. He just does not look like he is like he feels his best. And whatever. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think either he been through something or he going through something. Either way, I hope it gets better. I hope it totally gets better for him. That really was bothering me. And I see, y'all let me know in the comments. Did you notice? Do you think that maybe it's just me? I don't know. I mean, and the thing is, they did old beam footage, and you could completely see what I'm talking about. But whatever, y'all tell me what y'all think. Anyway, I pray whatever that is that's going on is actually going to get better. That just, yeah, he just didn't look like he was feeling his best. Anyway, moving on. Let me move on gladly. Ashley and Dr. Donna. Child, listen, this is the facts. Michael and Ashley are over each other, period. They're over each other. Ashley, go on and make your escape. Go on and make your escape. This is what's happening with you. You're miserable. You're miserable. And you're sitting around at this point and you're questioning whether or not he's faithful. He's been faithful because he doesn't want to have sex with you. And remember, we had all these issues with Michael because Michael is highly oversexed. You don't need to go over there and waste money with Dr. Donna. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. And whatever it is, see, you were purchased. You were purchased. I hate to say it. I mean, you were this young girl who he grabbed you up and he raised you to his hand. Well, now you're old news. Sorry. But that's how it reads. You're old news. He done impregnated you twice. He done watched you grow to a larger size. He done watched you become less glamorous. You're not the pageant girl because you're running around trying to feed babies and change diapers. And you know, you're not anymore. You've become old news. Sounds kind of like probably what happened with the first wife. But you know, whatever. And that's the kind of thing. And his sex drive, did his sex drive change? Or did it just change as pertains to you? And I think you know. And that's why you're miserable. And you just lash out. And I see you, girl. You're always out. You start mess with Candace and her and Chris. You start mess with G and me. You just miserable in general. Causing discord is a little bit of what you do on the show, but it's at an all-time high. And some things you just, that Mia and G thing, you're jealous. You're jealous because they are you and Michael. They are you. The older man that took and purchased the younger pretty girl, that is you. That was your life. But see, G still wants to hop all over Mia, and Michael don't want to hop all over you. But what we actually end up getting into, you went on over, she said, you know, maybe you need to go on. You tried to go and seduce him. You're going to go on and you're going to seduce him and all of this kind of carrying on. First of all, y'all try to do this little sexy thing. Both of you all are ridiculous. I don't find anything sexy about the two of y'all. Sexy to y'all was sitting there drinking Coronas with each other out of the bottle. What was sexy about that? When they was, y'all was turning them bottles up, I looked at the two of them, I said, why does it look like all of a sudden the room stinks? They turning these bottles up. I'm like, that ain't sexy. You got these old drawers on to match the dress. And then y'all start talking about Candace and Chris. He ain't got nothing nice to say about Candace and Chris at all. He's still being evil. Evil and mean and nasty. Then you turn around and when Juan came up, you had to make him stop. Do you think we didn't notice? Do you think we didn't notice that your husband is still in love with Juan Dixon? I said it. I said it. Your man has a thing for Juan Dixon. Again, I'll say, I don't know if Juan knows he's dating Michael, but Michael is definitely dating Juan. And he is, listen, that man lit up like a Christmas tree. I said, no, baby, hold on. We got 2 more months before Christmas time, honey. Turn your light down, honey. When you said Juan Dixon, honey, he said, woo! I said, oh, my. You trying to give him some of that fang, honey, and he was like, saggy. Animal print draws, girl. Get on. Get on out of here. Did somebody say something about Juan, honey? I said, oh, girl. Somebody said Juan, honey, and he got a teepee in his pants. I said, oh, Miss Michael, honey, what's going on? And then y'all go back in the room and close the door, and he say something about, did you see all those buttons on next to that toilet? And that's exactly where your love life is with your husband, Ashley, in the toilet. And that's why you keep on at Mia and G, because theirs is not. Mia and G is tearing each other up at night, and you're mad about it. And it came through on this episode. Or was it just me? Listen, I'm going to say it one more time. When it was about you and them drawers you had on, honey, he was giving, this is uncomfortable. Oh, drink some beer out of the bottle. Oh, did you see all them buttons on that toilet? He said, Juan. You said something about Juan Dixon, honey. Juan Dixon, honey. Girl, go on and make your exit plan, honey. It's over. It's done. Psh. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Wendy had this photo shoot, and she wants to name the candles, her candles and her candle line after her mom and her baby girl. And that was really cool. Child and Mother was doing as she usually does. I just ain't going to drag her. I just don't feel like it. I just don't feel like dragging Wendy's mother, but she was doing the most. Wendy was having a disagreement with her over her upbringing. Wendy, I don't even know why you did that to her. Leave her alone. You already know that's a losing battle. She got mad, baby, and she left out there, but I have to say, she was looking good. Mama was looking good down to the photo shoot. Her makeup and her hair and the little outfits they had on, they look cute. But Mama was looking good. She really was looking good, but she was acting ugly. And she didn't appreciate you disagreeing. And, you know, she's one of them people. She said she ain't gonna never admit to what she did wrong. She is here to be praised. And how dare you say anything different than what she says, honey. I said, girl, let me get on out of this scene because I don't want to drag the lady. I'm going to leave her alone. Leave Mama alone. Mama messy. Mama messy as can be, honey. Leave your mama alone, Wendy. You already knew what it was given. Leave her alone. And Gizelle, stop being worried about the girls and their relationships for the future. That is for them to figure out. Period. You cannot live it for them, sweetie. Anyway, you could actually be there to give them a hug when they make their little missteps. And then they got all 3. There's 3 of them, so they have each other. But, girl, you can't live it for them, honey. So don't, girl, you want to have gray hair, worry about things that you can't change. Love language is an individual thing, period. All right, you guys, listen, I'm out of here. I'm out of here, and I will talk to you all next week. Later.